So today we're going to be having a look at the Inov8 Trailfly. So that's it just there. Inov8 Trailfly comes in various different colours. Comes in like an ivory colour, which is a ridiculous colour for a trail shoe. It's just going to get filthy. Comes in a black and red, and it comes in this blue here. And then you get women's colours as well. So I've been running in these shoes for a wee while now, and been comparing them as well against the Trailfly Speed as well. So there are differences between these shoes. I'll just mention them later on in the video. So Trailfly, I've been using this and have ran between 150, 100 kilometers, somewhere between 100 and 150 kilometers. But I have used them in various types of conditions. They are designed for hard pack, rocky trails. So let's think some stats for you. Gets a 29 mil stack at the heel, 23 mil at the forefoot, which gives it a 6 mil drop. It has a graphene outsole, 4 mil lugs, multi-directional lugs, so it does offer good grip for hard packed kind of terrain. The graphene they're using on the outsole is an improved graphene, which is supposed to give you better traction in wet conditions. So wet conditions, everybody always goes on about, yeah, these shoes are rubbish for wet conditions, slippy underfoot, and these ones are good. Depends where you are, what part of the country you're in, what part of the world you're in, what type of rock you're running on. I've ran in older versions of graphene shoes in the Lake District, been super duper grippy. I've ran in other parts of the country and they've not been so grippy in similar kind of conditions, but the rock was different. So always keep a mind on where you are, that depending on what type of conditions, what type of rock will depend how grippy they are. For me, so far, they've been good. So plenty of cushioning underfoot. So they have been really good. Even on hard packed stuff, as in road. I did a run yesterday, which was 33k. Mixture, hard packed terrain on the trail. Went up a hill, became much rockier. Came down the hill, it was really wet and slimy. I was still fine, I just got soaking wet, muddy feet. But then you kept on running down, you ran through more puddles, and the shoes cleaned up. But I didn't slip over at all, never felt as if I was going to slip. And then I had to do fairly long sections on road as well, and they performed absolutely fine. So plenty of cushioning in there for doing some stuff on tarmac. So one of the, what else we got? Metashank. It's got a Metashank rock plate underneath the outsole. That basically means it's got some protection underneath here. So when you're running on rocks, you do get some level of protection so the rocks don't just poke through. It is just a thin rock plate, so it's not big, thick and stiff that's going to stop every stone from poking through under your feet. But because it's a thin rock plate, then it still keeps its feel, and the shoe itself will move with your feet. So you still keep that ground feel and responsiveness of the shoe. What else have we got here? The upper is a breathable mesh upper. You've got these strips just across here. They help, I can't remember what they're called. I'll remember later in the video. But these strips that come across, they help hold your foot down inside the midsole and towards the heel, so there's no heel movement. They do come in different width fittings. This is a standard width fitting, and you can also get it in a wide width fitting. On my Trailfly Speeds, I've got those in wide, and in the standard Trailfly, they are in a standard fit. So for me, I thought the wide in those was going to be way too wide, but my foot is still nice in there. But it's I'm not finding a massive difference, to be honest. I think if I had really wide feet, I'd find a difference. But my foot is still nice and comfortable in there, and it's allowed my feet to spread out because they've got this new anatomical shape. So the shape is much more reminiscent of an Ultra. So it's much wider here in the forefoot, which just allows your feet to spread out, which just gives you that really nice feeling, especially if you've been out for a longer run. Your feet aren't going to be pinching. On the Park Claws, one of the older Inov8 shoes, I always found it just pinched on my little toe, just on one foot. It was my right foot. Always pinched just there. My feet couldn't spread enough. So now that they've changed the shape of the forefoot, not getting any of those issues at all, and I'm not going to because there's plenty of room in there. My foot's not slopping about because the upper midfoot hold is still really good. Breathable, as I mentioned. Water comes out nice and easily. Every time I've worn these, I've got soaking wet feet because this summer it's just rained all the time, hasn't it? Just chucked it down every day. So when I have got wet feet, they've just dried out really quickly as I've been running. On the toe, you got a little toe bumper just up here. There's a little overlay all the way along here, and they seem to have like doubled it up potentially, or even more than that maybe. So this bit here is a little bit stronger. It's not super tough, but there is some protection against stubbing your toes. If they made it any thicker, the weight would go up. So I think that's why they haven't done that. One thing I have noticed on my right foot, wherever that one is, just up here, I have had to use the runner's knot because my heel was slipping ever so slightly. Wasn't on the left foot, so I've not bothered doing the runner's knot. But because you got the option to be able to do it, you don't always have to do the runner's knot on both feet. If you've just got a slight heel movement on one foot, do it on that foot. And yeah, that's worked a treat. A little pull here to help get them on and off. Gusted tongue. So the tongue is gusted just in here, and the tongue itself is padded. So you've got a nice element of padding in the tongue just there. Okay, the name of these bits here that I couldn't remember, Met Cradle strips. I knew I'd remember. So they are called Met Cradle strips, and that just helps hold your foot in place. Other things I've forgotten, on the midsole here says PF Pro, and PF Pro basically means Power Flow Pro. So that's where the cushioning comes in, and that's what keeps it nice and responsive as well. And yeah, there's lots of energy return on the shoe, so it's certainly not a sluggish shoe. There is a fair bit of cushioning in there, and a really nice amount of cushioning where you can feel it when you're standing there and run on them, but it's not super duper cushioned where your foot is losing the feel on the ground when you're running. Laces, thin laces, not round, they stay tied. I've never felt the need to double knot them. I always like to not double knot a lace and see how I get on. I never need to double knot them. I know in the future I should double knot them before I go out, but I've not double knotted these once, and they've never come loose or undone at all. So the lace is really nice, they stay tied. They are vegan friendly as well, so Inov8 are obviously keeping an eye on things like the glues that they use, so that's good that they've made a vegan friendly shoe. Price of the shoe is £130, so £130 I think for this shoe is really good. Prices of shoes over the past 12 months, I think some of the prices have come to, well they have come down, some of the prices. 130 quid is a very good price for a good shoe that's pretty much a good all-rounder apart from in super muddy conditions. If you want a shoe that's going to give you a good amount of cushioning underfoot, you're going to be able to use it in multi-terrains, including some road tarmac, and it's still going to perform well, then this certainly ticks that box. The shape, anatomical shape at the front here is a big selling point for the shoe as well. Price £130. Weight on this particular shoe size UK 11, 340 grams. So that's what it is. All right. Comes with boomerang insole. So we've mentioned boomerang insoles on nearly all the Inov8 shoes of late. Super squidgy, little dimples on the footbed, and it gives you loads of extra cushioning. So that's another plus point. It's going to be durable. Yeah, it's going to be durable. Inov8 shoes for a good long while now have been super durable shoes. Gone are the days of holes appearing in the mesh or things just wearing down quickly. I've not had an issue with an Inov8 shoe wearing quickly for a good number of years, so I'm fully convinced this is going to be a very durable shoe as well. So, I was going to mention as well that some of the differences with the speed. So the speed is definitely, it's low to the ground, it's less cushioning, it's more feely. This still has good ground feel, but this has more. So I definitely noticed a difference when I go out for a run. If I want to go for a slightly shorter run and push my run a bit, I can run quicker in this shoe. This shoe wants to run quicker than something that's a little bit heavier with a bit more cushioning. So a longer, more relaxed kind of run, that one. Shorter, speedier run, that one. If you want to know more about this shoe, I've already got a review video which should be up here somewhere at the top of your screen. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully that helped you somewhat. It has been a really nice shoe. Inov8 Trailfly. Yeah, definitely gets a good thumbs up.